Merci d'avoir répondu présent à l'invitation des Rencontres Responsabilité Performance. C'est la 3e édition et c'est indéniablement la plus importante de toutes. Et ce, pour 2 raisons majeures. La première, parce que j'ai appris, il y a quelques jours à peine, que notre événement était soutenu par le haut patronage de Sa Majesté le roi Mohamed VI, que Dieu l'assiste. Nous sommes bien sûr honorés de ce patronage et nous sommes fiers de compter parmi les initiatives qui encouragent la croissance durable que le Maroc appelle de ses vœux. La deuxième raison, c'est que cette édition reçoit un invité prestigieux cette année, en la personne du professeur Muhammad Yunus, lauréat du Prix Nobel de la Paix 2006, qui a dédié sa vie à la justice et à l'équité sociale. Merci. C'est donc avec beaucoup d'émotion que je vous reçois pour discuter d'innovation sociale et de son impact sur la croissance durable. En 2015, les Nations Unies ont lancé l'appel non pas d'1 ni de 2, mais de 17 objectifs du développement durable pour adresser les enjeux sociaux et environnementaux auxquels notre monde fait face. L'ONU s'est fixé 15 années seulement pour opérer un changement majeur et tous les acteurs, qu'ils soient pouvoirs publics, organisations de la société civile, entreprises, sont appelés à travailler de concert pour identifier des solutions et être eux-mêmes acteurs de ce changement. La voie vers un développement inclusif semble être ainsi tracée. Alors au Maroc, nombre d'entreprises s'impliquent et s'engagent sur les questions de changement social. L'innovation sociale est à l'intersection de l'engagement et du monde des affaires et nous apparaît comme une voie privilégiée pour un développement inclusif et durable. Car au-delà de la philanthropie, au-delà des démarches RSE, la corrélation entre le progrès social et le succès commercial est de plus en plus évidente. Mais nous parlons là de modèles nouveaux, parce que l'intégration du développement durable nous encourage à innover, à sortir des sentiers battus, à voir des opportunités là où d'autres ne voient que des obstacles et à réorienter notre réflexion vers une croissance qui profite à tous. Ce soir, nous allons partir de la vision d'un homme qui est persuadé, convaincu, que l'action entrepreneuriale peut participer à résorber les enjeux sociaux. Nous allons matérialiser cette vision par un cas concret, celui d'une entreprise naissante qui a choisi d'avoir une vocation résolument sociale. Différents acteurs vont venir soutenir nos propos et nous laisser entrevoir le potentiel de tels modèles sur le développement du Maroc et sur le développement du continent africain. À présent que tout cela est dit, il est temps à présent de vous présenter celui qui, en lançant la révolution du microcrédit, va être lauréat du Prix Nobel de la Paix 2006. Son action le mène depuis à défendre le social business. Il a inspiré, il continue d'inspirer le monde. Et comme tous les entrepreneurs sociaux qu'il m'a été donné de rencontrer, il est animé d'une détermination féroce. Il est patient, il est créatif, il est inspiré, il est courageux. Et vous allez le voir, il a dans les yeux l'énergie de déplacer des montagnes. Je vous prie d'accueillir le professeur Muhammad Yunus. Please. Your mic is right here. Alors, avant de commencer, je voudrais rappeler ce que mon collègue Salim a rappelé en tout début de conférence. N'hésitez pas à poser vos questions sur la plateforme menti.com. Le code ne va pas tarder à s'afficher à l'écran et on va répondre dans quelques instants aux premières questions. Professeur, alors, et aussi, pour ceux, l'entretien va se passer en anglais, ce premier entretien, et ensuite nous parlerons en français, mais pour ceux qui ont besoin, la traduction simultanée est assurée. Professor Yunus, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Welcome to Morocco. We are honored to have you. We are honored to have you, and you are launching a book called A World of Three Zeros. What does the 3 zeros stand for?
Well, the title is A World of Three Zeros: zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero net carbon emission. So this is a kind of a destination for the world to go. And I elaborated how to make it happen. What are the steps to be taken in order to reach that goal? Not in a far distant future, but immediate future. so that we can see it happening. It's not something our next generation or the next generation will see it, but in our generation, we want to see that happen.
So, can you give us some ideas of how we can make it happen?
Well, many ways. We have been doing things in a way, gave this idea that it can be accomplished. It's not just a pipe dream. It's not a kind of utopian idea that somebody kind of make a fiction that this is the world that we should have. It's a very concrete thing that we see the steps. You mentioned about the microfinance. We started lending money to poor women, tiny little money, but it made a big difference in their life. The whole generation of poor women in Bangladesh got connected with it. It's not just a few people in some corner of the village. It's not like that. It's a nationwide now. Every single village has a microfinance available to every single woman.
For the people who are listening to you, can you tell us how many people benefit from the Grameen Bank today?
The Grameen Bank today has over 9 million borrowers. So you can think about 9 million families connected with Grameen Bank. But there are many other programs in Bangladesh besides Grameen Bank, because many came out to see that this can be done. NGOs adopted it. Many other organizations adopted it. So today I would say over 90% of the poor people are connected with microfinance. Bangladesh is population-wise is a big country, 165 million people. So when we say 90% of the poor people is a massive number. So those are the people connected with microfinance, and that changes everything. The whole idea that I'm dependent, I don't know what to do, goes completely away. And women have no way to think about future. It's a dark future they see in front of them, because they have no way they can use their own capacity. But microfinance suddenly opens it up, and gave me a kind of a feeling, and I kept talking about it. I said, people are poor because they cannot have access to the resources that they have. I described microfinance, the poor people by comparing with the bonsai tree, you see. When you take the seed of the tallest tree in the forest and put it in a flower pot to grow, hoping that it will be as tall as the tree that you saw. It doesn't. It grows only this big, an exact replica of the one that you saw in the forest. And you wonder why it didn't grow tall. Only reason is you didn't give the soil on which to grow. It's a limited soil or flower pot. There's no problem with the seed. So I said, poor people are bonsai people. There is no problem with their seed, with the quality of the person. Simply, society never gave them the space so that they can grow as tall as everybody else. So the problem of poverty is not in the person. Problem of poverty is in the system. So we have to fix the system to get them out of poverty. When I say zero poverty, I'm not looking at the poor people. I'm looking at us who designed those policies, designed those institutions. It is an institutional fault. It's a conceptual fault. We keep on repeating it and hoping somehow the poverty will be over. It won't until we fix that. So that's where the zero poverty comes in. Quickly to add, if you remember, Millennium Development Goals, MDG, started from year 2000 to 2015. Number one goal was to reduce poverty by half by 2015. Bangladesh at that time had a massive poverty. But Bangladesh achieved that goal of number one MDG goal to reduce poverty by half. Not by 2015, by 2013, by the June of 2013. So we were 2.5 years ahead of time. And we can track how the poverty reduced in Bangladesh year by year. And if you continue that projection, even in a linear fashion, we see we can achieve the Sustainable Development Goal number one, SDG goal. Number one SDG goal is to reduce poverty to zero by 2030. And we are very well placed to make it happen. because we created those institutions, those policies, to make these people come out of poverty in a systematic way, not in a random way. So this is what gave us confidence that yes, it can be done much ahead of the time than we can think of.
So we are here today to talk about social businesses.
Yes, indeed. The other goals, the three zeros that I mentioned, zero unemployment is another one, and zero net carbon emission another one. And in the case of zero unemployment, I addressed the issue. I said the whole problem of unemployment is created by the concept of employment. If we didn't have the concept of employment, we wouldn't have the idea of unemployment. I said we pushed our system, the capitalist system that we follow, kind of encourages you, forces you to work for somebody else. We built institutions, educations, everything, so that you can get a good grade, get a good education for what? To get a good job. As if job is the ultimate of a human life. I said that is not true at all. That's such a simple little thing to compromise your life taking a job. I said that human being is a giant of a being. With all the creative power each human being has, no matter what station of life he or she is it represents enormous creative power inside of the person. But we ask that human being, which is a giant of a being, to fit into a slot, a tiny little slot called job, to work for somebody else. I said, this is dehumanizing. This is humiliating for a human being. To insult human being, sacrifice all the creative power just for the sake of a living. I said, you cannot make more insult than a human being than ask him to do that. I said, human being always, in our entire history of human being is described as a go-getter. Human being is described as a farmer. Human being is described as a hunter. That's what history is. We did our own thing. I said, when we were in the caves in our life, we were not sending job applications. From cave number 5 to cave number 10, do you have a job for me? If we did that, we will not be here. We'll be dead. Luckily, we didn't have that idea of a job. Nobody was unemployed at that time because we are creating our own thing. We fought for it. We fought with the nature. We fought all the adversities and make things happen. That's what the spirit, that's what our DNA. Now we became docile people. Adjust ourselves to the instruction of our little tiny bosses around us to do this. And we cut down everything that we have. So that's where the fault of it. So I tell the young people in Bangladesh, believe that you are not job seekers, you are job creators. You are entrepreneurs. So in the beginning, they were nervous. How do you do that? Then I said, look at your mother, because these are the young people who are Grameen families. She went ahead and had a bold decision made 20 years back, 30 years back, to take a loan from Grameen Bank. And she didn't take the loan to send a job application. She took the loan to start a business, a $30 business. And she created that. And then started. And year after year, she took loans one after another and grew over the top. And that's where you are born. Now you're telling me that you have to have a job at the mercy of other people. Your mother didn't wait for that. She became an entrepreneur with $30 loan. I say, shame on you with all your education if you have to now go and slave for yourself or somebody else. Why don't you just learn from your mother what she was, your illiterate mother who never crossed the boundary of your village. She became an entrepreneur with $30 loan. Now what stops you? If your education has wiped out all your idea of entrepreneurship, shame on your education, throw away that education, go back to your mother, learn from her, because she has the best knowledge of how to live a life of dignity, not like you. You make yourself, demean yourself to take a job for other people. So then we created institutions. We created social business fund, social business venture capital. We tell the young people, come with business ideas. We invest in your business. We become your partner. So they come up with business ideas and we become your partner. And now thousands and thousands of young people every month come with business ideas. We keep on investing and they become entrepreneurs rather than wait around, give me a job. So I said, this is true for every human being on this planet. So that is the direction that you go. Somebody say, can everybody be entrepreneur? I said, you can tell it to somebody else, but you cannot tell it to me. Because I have been working with poor women all my life now. And every single woman come up, not for finding a job for her. She just asks for money, and I give the money, and she becomes an entrepreneur. If this illiterate, millions of illiterate women can become entrepreneur, I'm totally 100% convinced all human beings are entrepreneurs. Simply, we never unleashed that power. We just locked it up. Our education system, our theories that around us made it happen. So we made our children suffer because they are at the mercy of other people. They don't get a job and they demand ourselves. So this is the second zero, the zero unemployment. I said, let's be entrepreneurs. And I make sure, I insist, I said very soon the word unemployment will become unemployed because nobody will need that word anymore.
So, Professor.
So in the process, how do you achieve all those three zeros? That's where your social business thing comes. I said, basic problem with the theory is based on a wrong premise, wrong foundation. They interpreted human being in absolutely wrong way in the theory of capitalist system. Their basis is all human beings are driven by selfishness. It's in the literature, they are described as self-interest. Human beings are driven by self-interest, meaning that they are selfish people. So they assumed all human beings are selfish people. I said, I have no problem with that. Simply, you misinterpreted human beings by defining him at a very narrow way. Human beings are both selfish and selfless. You forgot the selfless part of it. And then you created a world which is driven by greed. You put on glasses on everybody through your theories, glasses with dollar sign. You see only the dollar. You don't see anything else. I said, but that's not a human being. Human being is a combination of selfishness and selflessness. I said, if you use these two parts of human being, then you have to create two kinds of business. Business to make money, which you already have, and the other one you don't have, business to solve human problems without any interest in making personal benefit out of it. So that is coming from your selflessness. There'll be selfish business, there'll be selfless business. That's what we call social business. It's a non-dividend company to solve human problems. Now we created many of those social businesses in Bangladesh, one after another. And we are excited about it, that how we can create business to address the problems of the poor in healthcare, in sanitation, in malnutrition, in water, in energy. In every single field, we have created businesses. Not for making money for anybody, no personal profit whatsoever, only to solve problems. Suddenly you become very powerful. All your ideas, all your technology moves in one direction to solve the problem of the people in a sustainable way. That's the social business. I'm very happy today that we already launched that program here in Morocco, near Casablanca. The program which will be a social business done in a small way, but a very powerful way, to show that even the big companies who joined together to make it happen, so that you create a social business not for making money for any of the shareholders. This is totally removed from that, to solve the problem of poor women who do not have a reasonable income for themselves. So that they can have reasonable income for themselves, they start doing that with the dignity, so that their children can learn. All the money will be made in the business. It will be a social business. Nobody takes the profit out of it. Profit goes into helping the children to go to school, finish school. Girls are not worried about going into school. Their parents are not worried about sending them to school, so that they go in safety and do complete the education and have a new life for themselves. So that's what the social business is all about. We have been doing this social business in many countries now. Many big businesses became interested in our work. McCain is one who became very interested in the social business. Together we created social business in Colombia. They got so excited in Colombia, seeing the result, what we have achieved in that Colombia, trying to help the unemployed farmers, because Colombia lost all its coffee business. Coffee Colombian coffee, you never heard of it anymore. It disappeared. So they don't have anything to do. So this project bring up these unemployed farmers to turn into successful farmers and so on as a social business. Nobody wants to make money. So that idea came to France. McCain brought it there and took all the throwaway potatoes which are not used for any purposes just because they're not in the right shape. So nobody buys it. So they buys it under a new program, Bien, to make this potato into potato soup. And suddenly it becomes a good business, not as a money-making business. They could have made lots of money out of it, but decided this will be a social business. This potato was thrown away. Nobody need to get it back, but we collected it. And then they used ugly vegetables. 30% of the vegetables in Europe are thrown away. You know why? Because they are not in the right shape. They're fat in one end, thin another end. In supermarket that you go, all the vegetables have to be in military formation. Otherwise you won't buy it. You won't buy a banana which is a little crooked. Nobody wants to buy that. Why should I pay for it? There's nothing wrong, it's a good food, but nobody buys it. So they throw it away. 30% of the vegetables is thrown away. What McCain has done, creating a social business to buy up all the 30% of that vegetable back, to produce it, cut it, chop it, and make it a beautiful packages, to make it as a ready-to-cook vegetable. When you chop it up, your shape is done, finished. You don't know what the shape was. It's comfortable, everybody feels good, it looks very nice, and you pay less because it is something which was thrown away, now you brought it back, and everybody loves it. Suddenly that becomes something very admirable thing that they have done as a social business, so that people can enjoy, you can have cheap food, fresh vegetable, and so on, and make it into soup also. So these are the kind of things. Now you bring Morocco into the picture. If this one works out as it worked out in Colombia, it worked out in France, it worked out in Belgium, it worked out in Greece, now we'll be doing it in Morocco. Why? Because we want to open up the whole idea for everybody in this region, so that everybody can look at it. It's there. It's not complicated. You go there, oh, okay, this is so easy. Is all these big companies doing this such a tiny thing? This is tiny but very powerful. Once it does, it expands everywhere. So that is the purpose of the social business.
Thank you very much. We're going to have the occasion to come back to the Moroccan experience, which is indeed very, very interesting. And in Morocco, we see amazing social business initiatives. But I have to admit, and some of them are here, and we have great experiences, great initiatives, but I have to admit we face a divided ecosystem. And I'm wondering, what would be the social business catalyst in a country? Where does it come from? Is it a mix of several influences?
It comes from you. It comes from me. It comes from you, everybody. This is not a rocket science. Simply what you want to do with your life. That's all it's all about. You are told that only thing you do in business, you have to make money. And you can make money. But now we are saying, no, it's bigger than that. You can create a business to solve problem. Suddenly you see your human value, that I can have my creative power to solve the problem of 10 unemployed, poorly paid, or poorly earning women struggling with their life, with their children, cannot manage. I can change that all by creating a social business for 10 people, not 100 people. And I can do that. You can do that. Anybody can do that. If you don't like 10, take it 5, take it 2. What does it matter? I can do that. So that's the whole idea. As I said, the whole thing is so simple. You look back and say, why didn't I think about it before? Why was it so stupid that didn't do it? Always complaining to the government should do this, government should do that. I could do that myself. Not the whole country, but 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, I can do that. I can make their life different. I can take care of 1 family, 10 family, not as a charity. Charity doesn't solve any problem. You can take it from me. It only sustains problem. It doesn't let it explode, but keep it there. But the moment you make it a business proposition, suddenly people start standing on their feet because you're not dependent on you. You just put them onto the orbit and then move. You don't have to carry them anymore. And that's the power you bring in. So that when you say, who does it? We do it. How do we do it? We go back today, talk to our children. Look, this is what you can do. When you grow up, don't look for a job. Be entrepreneur. This is your option. You can be an entrepreneur. You can also look for a job. But you decide what you want to be. If you want to be yourself, a creative person, prepare yourself. If you want to be an entrepreneur, prepare for that. If you want to take a job, prepare for that too. But you have options. That option today we don't have. We don't discuss in our families. We don't discuss in our education system. In the education system, we're always telling the students, work very hard so that you can get a good degree, first-rate degree. If you get a first-rate degree, you get a first-rate job. As if job is the ultimate of human life. That's not it. So we tell the young people, look, you can be an entrepreneur, prepare for yourself an entrepreneur. That we tell our children, tell our students, you can be an entrepreneur. And prepare them. Make them available. What is the information available to you? How to create entrepreneurship, how to start a business, and so on. Today we don't do that. We prepare them for job application. We even tell them how to appear before a selection committee. Job interview. Prepare what kind of dress you wear, what kind of salutation you'll make. We tell them. But we never tell them how to start a business. And tell them for a business, starting a business, you don't have to finish education. You don't need a piece of paper. You do it whenever you feel like. And you go continue your education not because you are waiting for a paper. You want to learn. That's why you're in education. Not for the piece of paper. Today we learn, we go to school for that piece of paper mostly. And which school, which paper we'll get, that's become very important. Because that decides my fate, where I get a job. If you are becoming an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter where you are. Because it's you who makes all the difference. And that's it. So then you tell your children, when you start a business, if you become an entrepreneur, you have two options. You can make a business to make money for yourself. You can make a business to solve problems of the people. Find out which problem you want to solve and how. Start thinking about it now. And you can do both. If you think you want to be comfortable, yes, of course you need to be comfortable. So start a business to make money. And at the same time, start a business to solve problems, a social business. Once we discuss this, the whole world will be different. Your society will be different. Your family will be different. Your children will be different because they have these two things in their mind. That's how it starts.
Thank you very much. Shall we take a few questions? Let's see. Let's see what you have been asking. It appears you. The question, Professor, is linked to CSR, to corporate social responsibility. And is it a good way to start on these issues? People link social businesses to CSR.
I don't know why. I didn't say anything about CSR. I said it's in your heart. It's not in your CSR. You want to do it, that's why you do it. Not because company gave you some money. Any individual can do that. And to come back to CSR, CSR is a kind of afterthought of the companies. Because you're so focused in making money, you never had a chance to look around and see what's happening in the world. So you feel a guilty feeling. You said, okay, after we make the money, we'll give a little bit out. And that's CSR. That doesn't really express what I'm saying. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for what you, as a human being, what you want to do that. But then you have the CSR. Most of the CSR, and most of the time, is used for company promotional activities, rather than for the genuine purpose for which you intended in the beginning. Now everybody's, why are you giving it away? Have a big sign in the back of your stage that it is promoted by such and such. Even out of CSR, you want to get some mileage from the company on the business part. So something, when I say selfless, we don't want to promote anybody. We do it because we feel strongly about it. And then when you do the CSR, you write a check to give it to an NGO to do the job, do education, do healthcare and something. That's your CSR. I said, I'm not talking about charities. I'm not talking about writing checks. I'm talking about you as an individual, as an executive, as a board member. You can do things yourself. Why you give it away to somebody else? Create social business with that CSR money, whatever money you are giving it away anyway. So invest it and put your company name, not because of promotion, because you stand by the quality of the work you do that. If you do something fishy in that, and everybody say, look, your company doesn't do a good job for the poor people or this environment or something else. So that's the kind of thing we say. I would rather say, why don't you start a social business as a part of your company business? Not wait for your CSR money. Do it. What did Danone do? This is very interesting. I should quickly add. Danone became very interested in social business, so we created the social business together. But they could not use their money, company money, to invest in our social business in Bangladesh. Why? Because the lawyers objected. Lawyers says you cannot use company money to invest in a company in Bangladesh which says they will never give you dividend because it's a non-dividend company. Shareholders gave you the money to the management to earn more money for the shareholders. So if you use it for a company where no dividend, then you'll be violating the mandate of the shareholders. You cannot do that. So Danone could not use their company money to invest in Bangladesh. What did they do? They wrote a letter to all the shareholders, explain what the company is doing, what a great work they're doing. And then they, at the end of this long report, they say, we are committed to start a business in Bangladesh, which will be a social business, to address the problem of malnourishment in children of Bangladesh. And this is what this does. Our part of the investment is only $500,000. Other $500,000, it's $1 million project. Other $500,000 will come from Grameen side. We need $500,000 from our side. If you are interested as an independent investor, please write, sign below or a tick mark below what percentage of your dividend that you're receiving from Danone you would like to invest in this company. And remind you, this company will never give you dividend. That was the letter. Guess what? 98% of the shareholders signed up. Total money is generated was 35 million euro. They are looking for $500,000. Now they get 35 million euro. Then it created objection from the employees. Employees wrote strong letters to the management. Do you consider us second-class citizen in this company? You asked the shareholders to participate in that business in Bangladesh. You never bothered to ask us, as if we don't matter. So the management was forced to write a letter to all the employees, again narrating the whole story. If you are interested, please sign up, tell us how much you want to invest. 30 million euro came. So in together, they have 65 million euro. They needed only $500,000. And what do they do with this money? This money is devoted for investment in social business. So they created a whole social business fund. So my message is, why don't you go back to your shareholders, ask what do they want? That's what will create it, not the CSR. Thank you.
Thank you very much.